Hi guys, Joe here. Some major revelations happening for me today, around the number 144,000, and I'll get to that. First off, I just want to read this, which was sent to me yesterday, or rather today, and it'll make more sense when I start talking about a video that was sent to me yesterday regarding the Queen and the act that they did, or she did rather, with the DNA strands going to the Tree of Life. And again, it's all going to make sense to you. So, my mind is blown. And I've been reading bits of this now. I want to apologise in advance. It's going to be 10-minute stints because it takes so long for me to edit to make it pleasing to the eye. So I'm adding some imagery in the text as well. And it takes absolutely ages. Once I've done the edit, it takes ages to upload to YouTube. So it is literally going to be 10-minute stints. So it's not going to be a paragraph at a time, which might be a bit annoying for you. But it's actually a really difficult book to read because there are certain words that I've never come across. So you will find me stumbling over some of the words. So I apologise in advance for that. But hey. Right, so God, my brain's just firing off in all directions. I feel quite excited with the revelations that I've come across today. And I'm just trying to piece everything together. Right, here we go. So, there is some confusion as to what magic actually is. I think this can be cleared up if you just look at the very earliest descriptions of magic. Magic in its earliest form is often referred to as the art, thelemic art. For those of you who want to put the occult in there. Anyway, I believe this is completely literal. I believe that magic is art, and that art, whether it be writing, music, sculpture, or any other form, is literally magic. Art is, like magic, the science of manipulating symbols, words, or images to achieve changes in consciousness. The very language about magic seems to be talking as much about writing or art as it is about supernatural events. A grimoire, for example, the book of spells, is simply a fancy way of saying grammar. Indeed, to cast a spell is simply to spell, to manipulate words, to change people's consciousness. And I believe that this is why an artist or writer is the closest thing in the contemporary world that you are likely to see to a shaman. I believe that all culture must have risen from cult. Originally, all the facets of our culture, whether they be in the arts or sciences, were the province of the shaman. The fact that in present times this magical power has degenerated to the level of cheap entertainment and manipulation is, I think, a tragedy. At the moment, the people who are using shamanism and magic to shape our culture are advertisers. Rather than try to wake people up, their shamanism is used as an opiate to tranquilize people, to make people more manipulable. Their magic box of television, and by their magic words, their jingles, can cause everyone in the country to be thinking the same words and have the same banal thoughts all at exactly the same moment. In all of magic, there is an incredibly large linguistic component. The bardic tradition of magic would place a bard as being much higher and more fearsome than a magician. A magician might curse you. That might make your hands lay funny, or you might have a child born with a club foot. If a bard were to place a curse upon you, but a satire, then that would destroy you. If it was a clever satire, it might not just destroy you in the eyes of your associates, it would destroy you in the eyes of your family. It would destroy you in your own eyes. And if it was a finely worded and clever satire, that might survive and be remembered for decades, even centuries. Then years after you were dead, people might still be reading it and laughing at you and your wretchedness and your absurdity. Writers and people who had command of words were respected and feared as people who manipulated magic. In latter times, I think that artists and writers have allowed themselves to be sold down the river. They have accepted the prevailing belief that art and writing are merely forms of entertainment. They're not seen as transformative forces that can change a human being, that can change a society. They are seen as simple entertainment, things in which we can fill 20 minutes, half an hour while we're waiting to die. It's not the job of the artist to give the audience what the audience wants. If the audience knew what they needed, then they wouldn't be the audience, they would be the artists. It is the job of artists to give the audience what they need. Alan Moore. And as anyone who's watched my predictive programming videos will recognise what that paragraph, or however many paragraphs it is, actually means. Entertainment is an art form to manipulate the mind, as is everything. So that leads me on to a video that I was shown yesterday, where the Queen is basically, she presses a button and there's a DNA strand going up to the tree of life, and it has, or a helix, I think it's a helix, and it has 3 strands. Now, and again, bear with me, because I'm just trying to process this all myself and trying to make sense of it and verbalize it to you guys in a coherent way, and it's not easy because there's quite a lot in my head. So let me find it, what I'm looking for. Excuse me. So a father has 72,000 strands in his DNA. A mother has 72,000 strands in her DNA. That makes up the double helix of 144,000. 144,000 is a very significant number, and I'm only just learning this. So I'll read a few things that I've learned about 144,000 today. So I've heard it mentioned in the Emerald tablets, which some of the Kabbalion teachings were taken from. I've actually sent the wrong message there. I need to find it. Apologies. Right. So, as you know, I'm reading the Lost Scriptures of Giza. Jason in this book mentions 144,000. So the main long count system of 13 Bactons, and I've tried researching what a Bacton is, and I can't fully understand what a Bacton is. I'm going to call it a day, because I don't know. But 13 Bactons counting 144,000 days each, for a total of 1,872,000 days until the collapse of time. So in the Mayan long count system, 144,000 was a significant number. Remember what I said about the double strand DNA, 144,000. There are 140,000 stones on the Giza pyramid, and 144,000 are supposed to be the last people on the planet in 2178 when all of this ends. And I'm just going to go and find the rest of it on 144,000. Right, so this guy's replied to me. I agree the number holds value. 144,000 chakra lotus petals. So a channel which I have looked at, which I don't really resonate with, called FPV Angel, is a YouTube channel, and they've looked through the old Bible books, not the modified ones that we have today, such as the Book of Enoch, etc., and stated that the 144,000 is a number of sacred sites, places on the earth emanating energy fields. So you've got CERN, Stonehenge, pyramids, etc., to name but a few. So where this is leading to regarding the Queen and they presented at the Jubilee, remember that a father holds 72,000 strands, a mother holds 72,000 strands, that passes to us 74,000 strands in total. That's your double helix, from my understanding of all of this. So That's in Revelation 7.34. Add another 72,000 more through technology equals 216,600 times 60 times 6 was 666. So what I've deduced, and I could be wrong, this is only my theory, me overthinking everything as I always do, the ritualogy has changed the DNA structure and added another 772,000 strands to the structure. It shows the DNA all lit up with 3 strands leading to the tree of life. I haven't yet. My theory with that is, we all know we're going into an age of transhumanism. I don't think it can be stopped, because the age of Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, is about technology. The word utopia is about digital bliss, digital perfection, whatever you want to, that is what the word utopia means. So was the symbolism that was shown yesterday, or sorry, rather with the Jubilee, what I saw yesterday with the Jubilee, and it going to the tree of life, basically, were they birthing a new era of humanity, i.e. the transhumanism? Because with that 3rd strand of DNA, the DNA has been modified. Wow. So that's my thoughts on it, and I could be wrong, it's just my theory. What else did I want to highlight? I will put the Jubilee video in the description box. My mind's just blown, guys, because I'm making all these connections and I'm seeing all these numbers, and I'm starting to get a real understanding of this life is scripted, and everything leads back to numerology, astrology, simulated. Did we even begin as machines? And it's on the government website regarding the human augmentation. You can go and read it yourselves. The combining of machine and men. It's depicted in Westworld. It's depicted in what was that program I started watching the other night? Oh my god, brain freeze. I'll come back to that. And the reason why I read that passage at the beginning was because it was highlighting about the magic that's being played on people each time they look at their black screen. It's all manipulation. So they tell us everything in plain sight. They show us, but the majority of people don't have any understanding of it because they're not prepared to look any further than the black box and research. And I'm really grateful to the people that go even further than I'm capable of doing with my limited education of the knowledge that I'm picking up. And I'm connecting dots with their work. It's bugging me what that program was called. But anyway, I'm going to stop with I'm going to end it there because I've said what I wanted to say. Maybe not very coherent because it's a lot for my little brain to take in. Thank you for listening, and once I remember what that program is, I'll pop it in the description box below. I'll speak to you all soon, guys. Bye!
Yo soy una hija del inti sol de la Pachamama.